What if I told you that one of the most powerful tools for creating healthier, more resilient plants is sitting right in your kitchen pantry? While many gardeners spend hundreds of dollars on synthetic fertilizers and chemical pest controls, the secret to naturally boosting your plant's immune systems and flowering potential might already be within arm's reach. Today, we're diving deep into the remarkable world of molasses as a soil amendment and exploring how this humble sweetener can transform your garden into a thriving ecosystem. Before we explore the magic of molasses, let's talk about something that most gardeners have never heard of but should absolutely understand: Brix levels. Named after Adolf Brix, this measurement tells us the sugar concentration in plant sap, and it's one of the most reliable indicators of plant health you'll ever encounter. When plants have higher Brix levels, they're not just sweeter, they're fundamentally stronger, more nutritious, and naturally resistant to pests and diseases. Think of it this way: healthy plants with high sugar content are like well-nourished athletes. They have the energy and resources to build strong cell walls, produce protective compounds, and maintain robust immune systems. Pests and diseases, much like opportunistic infections in weakened humans, tend to target plants with low Brix levels because these plants are essentially malnourished and defenseless. When your tomatoes, peppers, or flowering plants have optimal sugar concentrations, they become less appetizing to aphids, spider mites, and fungal pathogens, while simultaneously producing more abundant, higher-quality blooms and fruits. Here's where molasses enters the picture as your garden's secret weapon. Unsulfured blackstrap molasses isn't just feeding your plants directly, it's actually feeding the vast network of beneficial microorganisms in your soil. These microscopic allies, including bacteria, fungi, and other soil organisms, form the foundation of what we call the soil food web. When you apply molasses to your garden, you're essentially providing a high-energy meal for these beneficial microbes, causing their populations to explode and their activity to intensify. So, this microbial feeding frenzy creates a cascading effect throughout your soil ecosystem. As bacteria and fungi multiply and get more active, they start breaking down organic matter way more efficiently, cycling nutrients at an accelerated rate, and forming beneficial relationships with your plant's root systems. The result? You get dramatically improved nutrient uptake, better water retention, and enhanced plant metabolism. Your plants begin producing more sugars through photosynthesis, which raises their Brix levels and, triggers all the benefits we discussed earlier. What makes blackstrap molasses particularly effective is its rich mineral profile. Unlike refined sugar, blackstrap molasses contains significant amounts of iron, calcium, magnesium, potassium, and trace elements that your soil microbes really need to thrive. Getting started with molasses in your garden is refreshingly simple, but there are some important details that will make the difference between good results and extraordinary ones. The foundation of success lies in choosing the right type of molasses and applying it at the proper concentrations. Always use unsulfured blackstrap molasses, as the sulfur in regular molasses can actually inhibit beneficial microbial activity. Blackstrap molasses is also the most nutrient-dense option, containing the highest concentration of minerals and trace elements. For most applications, you'll want to create a molasses solution using 1 to 2 tablespoons per gallon of water. Start with the lower concentration if you're new to using molasses or if your soil already has good biological activity. You can gradually increase to the higher concentration as your soil microbes become established and your plants show positive responses. The mixture should be applied as a soil drench around the root zone of your plants, ensuring that the solution penetrates deeply into the soil where the majority of beneficial microorganisms live. Timing your molasses applications can significantly impact their effectiveness. During the vegetative growth phase, apply molasses solution every 2 to 3 weeks to build soil biology and establish strong microbial populations. However, it's during the flowering and fruiting stages that molasses really shines. Weekly applications during this critical period can dramatically improve flower production, fruit quality, and overall plant vitality. The increased microbial activity helps plants access the nutrients they need for heavy flowering and fruit set, while the elevated Brix levels provide natural protection against stress and pest pressure. Advanced techniques like combining molasses with other organic inputs can really boost your garden's performance. While molasses is powerful on its own, mixing it with other organic amendments creates these synergistic effects that, honestly, can take your garden to the next level. One of the most effective combos is molasses with actively aerated compost tea. When you brew compost tea with a tablespoon of molasses added to the process, you're not just extracting beneficial microorganisms from your compost, you're also giving them food to multiply during brewing. This ends up creating a much more concentrated and, active microbial solution that provides immediate benefits to both your plants and your soil. Another highly effective approach is combining molasses applications with regular additions of organic matter like compost, aged manure, or even leaf mold. The molasses actually accelerates the decomposition of this organic matter, while at the same time feeding the microorganisms that are responsible for breaking it down. This creates a feedback loop where improved soil biology leads to better organic matter decomposition, which then feeds more microbes, which improves plant health and so on. It's a continuous cycle that just keeps making your garden healthier. For gardeners dealing with specific soil deficiencies or challenges, molasses can be combined with targeted organic amendments. For example, if your soil lacks calcium, combining molasses applications with gypsum or bone meal can really accelerate the availability of calcium to your plants. The enhanced microbial activity helps break down these amendments more quickly, while the improved root health allows plants to take up nutrients more efficiently. Recognizing results. What to expect from molasses applications. The beauty of using molasses in your garden lies not just in its effectiveness, but in how quickly and obviously it works. Within just a few weeks of beginning regular molasses applications, you'll start noticing changes in your plants that indicate improved health and vitality. The first thing most gardeners observe is a deepening in leaf color, as plants begin accessing nitrogen and other nutrients more efficiently through enhanced microbial activity. As your plant's Brix levels increase, you'll notice that pest pressure begins to decline naturally. Aphids, spider mites, and other common garden pests will show less interest in your plants, and when they do appear, the damage they cause will be minimal. This isn't magic. It's simply that healthy plants with high sugar content are less attractive to pests, and better able to defend themselves through natural chemical defenses. During flowering periods, the results become even more dramatic. Plants receiving regular molasses applications typically produce more abundant blooms, larger flowers, and in the case of fruiting plants, heavier yields with superior taste and nutritional content. The improved sugar content in fruits and vegetables is often immediately noticeable, with tomatoes tasting sweeter, herbs becoming more aromatic, and flowers displaying more vibrant colors and longer-lasting blooms. Avoiding common mistakes is key to getting molasses right. While molasses is generally forgiving and, honestly, pretty difficult to misuse, there are a few common mistakes that can limit its effectiveness or even cause problems in your garden. The most frequent error is over-application, especially when gardeners get excited about early results and decide that if a little molasses is good, well, a lot must be better. Excessive molasses applications can actually disrupt soil microbiology by creating anaerobic conditions or causing certain bacterial populations to dominate at the expense of beneficial fungi. Another common mistake is using molasses as a standalone solution without addressing underlying soil health issues. While molasses is incredibly effective at enhancing existing soil biology, it works best when combined with good organic gardening practices like regular compost additions, proper mulching, and of course, avoiding synthetic fertilizers and pesticides that can harm beneficial microorganisms. Temperature and timing considerations are also important for maximizing molasses effectiveness. Soil microbes are most active when soil temperatures are between 60 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit, so applications during extremely hot or cold periods may not provide optimal results. Additionally, applying molasses during periods of drought stress without adequate watering can concentrate the solution too much and potentially harm soil biology rather than helping it. Understanding why molasses works so effectively helps gardeners use it more strategically and with greater confidence. From a scientific perspective, molasses applications create what soil biologists call a microbial bloom, a rapid increase in beneficial soil organism populations that can be measured and observed under laboratory conditions. Research has shown that molasses applications can increase soil microbial biomass by 200 to 300% within just a few days, with corresponding increases in enzyme activity, nutrient cycling, and organic matter decomposition. These improvements in soil biology translate directly into measurable increases in plant performance, including higher photosynthetic rates, improved root development, and enhanced stress tolerance. The Brix level improvements that result from molasses applications aren't just theoretical, they can be measured using a simple refractometer, a tool that's becoming, increasingly popular among serious gardeners. Ready to transform your garden with this simple but powerful technique? Start with a small test area in your garden and apply molasses solution to just a few plants while leaving others untreated as a comparison. You'll be amazed at the difference you see in just a few weeks. Remember to document your results with photos and notes. The improvements are often so dramatic that you'll want to share your success with fellow gardeners. If you found this guide helpful and want to learn more natural gardening techniques that work with nature instead of against it, make sure to subscribe to the Living Soil Lab for weekly tips, tricks, and in-depth guides that will help you create the healthiest, most productive garden possible. Don't forget to share this information with your gardening friends. Everyone deserves to know about the incredible power of molasses in the garden.